So, hi everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time to join me here today at All Things Open. I'm super excited to share with all of you our 5 core values at Facebook as a company and how these values motivated some of the world's most used open source projects. So, follow along as we explore these values and discuss the process and motivations that drove the open sourcing of some of our biggest projects. So, let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Navyata Bava, and I currently work as a developer advocate at Facebook Open Source. Prior to that, I've worked as a software engineer for multiple companies, and I've had a chance to tinker with a lot of interesting technologies along the way. If you'd like to learn more about me, feel free to connect with me on Twitter and LinkedIn. So, as I mentioned, I'm a developer advocate for Facebook Open Source, and we work with a massive portfolio of over 600 open source projects. These projects are divided into pillars based on their area of focus. I currently focus my work on AR VR in Oculus and development tools. I'm very passionate about open source, and I believe that knowledge, when shared and supported by a community, blossoms in the best manner possible, benefiting everyone along the way. So today, I'm here to discuss the motivations behind open source at Facebook. Open source software has accelerated the rate of innovation in the world by empowering companies and individuals to innovate and build more collaboratively. Because of it, communities are able to build upon the work of others and solve challenges that were seemingly impossible before. At Facebook, our mission is to give people the power to build community and to bring the world closer together. Our open source work aligns with our mission. We believe that by sharing what we've built and how we've built it, we're moving the industry forward so that the community can use our platform to scale more quickly and build great products. As our company grows, we have 5 strong values that guide the way we work and the decisions that we take each day to help us achieve our mission. This is especially true in our investment in open source projects. I will take you through a tale of 5 open source projects from Facebook that reflect our 5 core values: be bold, move fast, build social value, be open, and focus on impact. Chapter 1: Be open. At Facebook, being open means that we believe that a more open world is a better world. Informed people make better decisions and have a greater impact. A project that demonstrates openness at its core is the Presto project. Presto is an open source distributed SQL query engine designed for fast analytic queries against data of any size. What makes this project unique is that it functions under an open governance model, which means that all decisions regarding contributions or changes to the project are done openly and transparently and in a structured manner. Everyone who uses the project has clarity on why and how these decisions are made so that no one body or individual can change the project for their own benefit behind closed doors. Presto achieves this level of openness through the Presto Foundation, which oversees the development of the open source Presto project. The foundation follows widely accepted approaches to project governance, transparency, and votes on changes. And all these decisions are made in the open. The Presto Foundation includes a technical steering committee, a governing board, and an outreach committee. The technical steering committee is responsible for steering the technical direction of the project. The governing board helps decide the overall strategy and the budget for the foundation. And the outreach committee is responsible for the adoption of the project, organizing PrestoCon and other community events. This separation of power and responsibility means that there are clear swim lanes so that no single member or company in the foundation can just buy a seat and drive the direction of the project. In addition to this clearly delineated approach to open governance, the Presto project also publicly airs all of their decision making meetings on their YouTube channel, and anyone is welcome to join these. For example, here is a screenshot from the Technical Steering Committee meeting discussing their roadmap for 2021. Building an open source project in this extremely transparent and open manner gives everyone who's using the project clarity on why and how the project evolves the way it does. As Brian Shea, the Presto Foundation governing board chairperson, puts it, at the end of the day, technology and technical direction is what keeps a community interested and the innovation going. We want the project to be inclusive and the technical roadmap to be fairly representative of the community's view. While this open governance model has great benefits, it will be naive to say that it doesn't come with certain costs. Additional voices means that decision making or sign off processes can take longer. There may also be issues when dealing with politics, for example, when one group tries to swing the directions and decisions of the project. However, at the end of the day, the benefits of an open and transparent governance model outweighs the cons. The open governance model of the Presto project demonstrates how we not only advocate, but create structures that allow for being open. Because we believe that informed people make better decisions and have greater impact. Chapter 2: Be bold. At Facebook, we believe that building great things means taking risks. We have a saying that the riskiest thing to do is to take no risks. The next example that I'd like to discuss is the Open Compute Project. The Open Compute Project is a non-profit organization focused on sharing designs and best practices for data center products. Committing to this project was a bold risk, not only because it was the first hardware open source project ever released, but also because it planted a seed that encouraged Facebook to embark on a mission of energy sustainability. It all started in 2009. Facebook was growing exponentially, serving millions of users from all over the world. The current data centers were reaching their limits and needed to be redesigned if they were to accommodate the needs of this growing demand. The growth could come at the cost to the environment if it was not handled properly. That's when Facebook started a project to design the world's most energy efficient data center. This project was called Project Freedom. A small team of engineers at Facebook spent the next 2 years designing and building one from ground up, involving software, servers, racks, power supplies, and cooling. The image you see is the result, which now stands in Prineville, Oregon today. It was 38% more energy efficient to build and 24% less expensive to run than the company's previous facilities. 2 years later, in 2011, Facebook decided to publicly share these designs with the world. Partnering with 4 other companies, they launched the Open Compute Project and founded the Open Compute Project Foundation. The 5 members embarked together to create a movement in the hardware space that would bring about the same creativity and collaboration that we see in open source software today. In addition, Facebook made an even bolder move and announced a commitment to source 100% renewable energy to support our global operations. We are excited to announce that in 2020, we reached net zero emissions and 100% renewable energy for our global operations last year. We've also set an ambitious goal for 2030 to reach net zero for our entire value chain, meaning helping our suppliers and vendors to reduce their carbon footprints as well. The Open Compute project is an example of how a bold vision of sustainability from a small team could evolve into a global leader of sustainable open source hardware collaboration. Chapter 3: Move Fast. The next Facebook value I'd like to discuss is move fast. Moving fast enables us to build more things and to learn faster. We are less afraid of making mistakes than we are of losing opportunities by moving too slowly. In this next tale, I will discuss the Create React app. Create React app is a tool that enables users to set a modern web application by running just one single command. Setting up a React application from scratch can be a long and somewhat complicated process. It involves setting up a build system such as Webpack, a transpiler such as Babel, so that the code can be translated into a format that can be read by all browsers, and even a base directory structure. All of these could come with their own issues and time spent on troubleshooting. To help alleviate these woes and to make it really simple to create React applications, a small team of engineers developed the Create React app during a hackathon. The Create React app includes all the JavaScript packages that you might need to build and run a React project, such as transpiling, basic linting, testing, and build systems. It can also create a structure for your directories so you can jump right in and start building your applications. Not only does this project allow users to move fast in their development, the whole process from ideation to creation to launch took just 2 weeks. Now, Create React app is an officially supported way to create single page React applications and has over 90K stars and 22K forks on GitHub. It has definitely become a community favorite. Now, with all this said, we do acknowledge that the project has grown way beyond its original small scope and has taken on a life of its own. It is now actively maintained by the React community, giving the community the freedom to contribute and to decide the growth and future of the project. This evolution is not necessarily a bad thing. The hackathon team had moved fast to build this project because they saw a need in the community. They saw that the community needed this solution. But what wasn't anticipated was the continuous maintenance that would be required of the project as it grew in scope. The team has taken this as lesson learned, and long-term maintenance of any project has now become a part of discussion of every project's open sourcing. Moving fast allowed us to rapidly release the Create React app to the community. And while it has evolved from its original design, it was better to have moved quickly and learned from our mistakes than to have never acted at all. Chapter 4: Focus on Impact. To have the biggest impact, we need to focus on solving the most important problems. It sounds simple, but a lot of companies do this poorly and waste a lot of time. We expect everyone at Facebook to be good at finding the biggest problems to work on. A project that demonstrates impact at its core is PyTorch, Facebook's open source machine learning library. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, when done responsibly, have the power to tackle some of the world's biggest problems, from agriculture to medicine and so much more. One really cool use case I would like to focus on is artificial intelligence for agriculture. Farming typically isn't the first thing that comes to mind when we hear the words machine learning. However, there are entire companies such as Blue River Technology, who focus on applying machine learning, robotics, and computer vision to agricultural equipment, which will in turn help farmers make better decisions. As Chris Padwick, the director of computer vision and machine learning at Blue River Technology, puts it, farmers today face a huge challenge feeding a global population with less available land. The world's population is expected to grow to nearly 10 billion by 2050, increasing the global food demand by 50%. The only way to produce more food while using less resources is through smart machines that can help farmers with difficult jobs, offering more consistency, precision, and efficiency. One challenge in a farmer's ability to produce food is weeds and pests, and more specifically, to correctly identify the weeds and remove them. For example, can you look at this image and tell which of these are cotton plants and which of these are weeds? The ones that are marked in green are cotton plants, whereas the ones marked in red are weeds. Now imagine being a farmer who has to correctly identify hundreds of thousands of cotton plants in their fields so as to ensure not to kill off their young seedlings. To tackle this issue, Blue River Technology developed See and Spray weed robots. These intelligent sprayers drive through the fields, taking an image of each and every plant in the field, and are accurately able to distinguish weed from cotton plant. They're also able to assess the situation, whether to very precisely spray herbicide on the weeds or to spray fertilizers on the plants. In addition, these robots are also able to inform the farmers of how many weeds exist in their fields and what kinds of weeds exist. This can even help farmers tailor their herbicide treatments as well. The Blue River Technology team chose PyTorch to train all their machine learning models because it's flexible, easy to debug, and is a favorite in the computer vision field. The cameras and the computers on these See and Spray robots are using deep learning algorithms that are similar to those used for facial recognition. By giving the machines tens of thousands of images of targeted weeds, these machines become an expert at identifying these plants. In the diagram shown, we can see the ground truth against the prediction that is made by these machines and the differences between the two, which clearly show how accurately these machines can identify weeds from cotton plants. These See and Spray machines not only promote agricultural sustainability, but have also significantly reduced herbicide waste and runoff. The targeted approach saves up to 90% of the herbicide when compared to conventional methods of spraying the entire fields. The reason we built and open sourced PyTorch demonstrates a focus on impact because there are many big problems in the world today, and by ourselves, we are not able to solve all of them. But by enabling others who are more experts in their domains to build off our tools, we can collectively make bigger strides towards positive impact. Chapter 5. Build social value. The last principle I'd like to discuss is building social value. Facebook was created to make the world more open and connected, not just to build a company. We expect everyone at Facebook to focus each day on how to build real value in the world in everything they do. The last example is about our partnership with Major League Hacking, MLH, in their fellowship program. This program invests in the next generation of open source developers. Open source is a commitment to investing in the community and building tools that help connect people. However, one of the biggest issues with this is that access and understanding of these tools is arguably still limited to only a certain group of people. So even though engineering is one of the highest demand, highest growth jobs, access to opportunity is unevenly distributed, making it hard for many people to get the hands-on experience that they need to apply their skills. Driven by this mission, we partnered with Major League Hacking. The MLH Fellowship is a fully remote open source educational program for aspiring engineers from all over the world. The program matches fellows with projects from the Facebook open source ecosystem and provides them with professional mentorship from seasoned engineers. Within 12 weeks, the fellows gain the experience to work on projects that so many companies depend on. They get to experience what it's like to work on a real software engineering team firsthand and get a chance to apply their skills on real projects. The fellowship prioritizes diverse perspectives and focuses to help underrepresented technologists build their skills and confidence in an inclusive, supportive community of learners. In spring 2021, the MLH Fellowship accepted fellows from around 20 countries, with around 60% of all the fellows being from outside of United States. So the open source projects today represent the world. My team, the developer advocates, are obviously ecstatic about this partnership since it provides opportunities to a new generation of diverse engineers and open source contributors. As advocates, we wanted to spotlight and share the success stories of the MLH fellows and help teach people that open source is approachable and fun. We have published a series of blog posts that highlight the success and struggles of the participants, which I definitely encourage you to check out. In the recent spring of 2021, we were excited to graduate our class of 11 MLH fellows who worked across a wide array of open source projects, from front-end projects such as Docusaurus to virtual reality projects such as WebXR. In the words of Grace Gao, a fellow who worked on PISA, the MLH Fellowship opened up a lot of new possibilities for growth. And I'm really grateful to have been a part of a community that's always inspiring me to level up. If anyone here is interested in joining our next cohort, we'll soon be opening up applications for 2022 next spring. To stay up to date on the announcements, and this is a shameless plug, to follow us on Twitter at FB Open Source. With the MLH Fellowship, Facebook is reshaping the open source landscape by opening new doors for technical development, outreach, and making the entire ecosystem more sustainable. Our investment in the MLH Fellowship is an example of our investment in building long-term social value, not just in the open source projects, but also downstream to the global users who are using these applications that are built by these creators. So, to summarize what we discussed in this talk, we went over Facebook's 5 core values: be open, be bold, move fast, focus on impact, and build social value. We saw how these values have motivated some of the world's most used projects, including the Open Compute Project, the Create React app, the Presto Foundation, PyTorch, and our partnership with the MLH Fellowship. What I hope you take away from this talk is that I encourage you to reflect on what it means to develop and build communities through open source. We hope that these examples are a springboard for yourself and your companies to reflect on how you interact with open source projects. In addition, I hope that these examples inspire you with ways in which you can contribute to open source, be it as creators, contributors, or advocates. And lastly, my parting message to you is to reflect on the idea of value-driven projects. In this talk, I covered Facebook's 5 core values, but we do acknowledge that these may not be your values. Everything we do in life is driven by our principles. So I encourage you to reflect on your own values and see how those contribute to where you spend your time. When we can align with our, when we can align ourselves with work that deeply motivates us, that is when we can drive the biggest impact in the world. A big thank you to all the individuals and teams who provided me with guidance, advice, and support while preparing this talk. If you'd like to remain in touch, please find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from all of you. And thank you all for your time.